worries, show me the hidden key. Come on, walk, spirit, walk. Come and set my people free. Show me the hidden keys, the narrative for setting free. Walk, spirit, walk. Talk, spirit, talk. Walk, spirit, walk. Talk, spirit, talk.
George V. Johnson Jr., it is so good to see you at the Cutting Room in New York City. Tell me about how you're feeling right now.
Well, Kevin Thornburg, I feel so good just being here in New York because it's been so long since I've been here. It's a blessing to be with Nat Reeves here at the Cutting Room.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, you performed so beautifully on that first set. Talk about some of the tunes that you sang this afternoon. What I'm going to do with this particular interview, I'm going to put a little snippet of your performance before and after the interview so folks can get a feel of what we're talking about. But talk about the tunes that you did on the first set.
Well, the first song was called Walk Spirit, Talk Spirit. I entitled it, the narrative will set us free, because it's the narrative that we need to talk about to educate one another so that we can free ourselves of this mental bondage. And it was dedicated to, it was a McCoy Tyner composition.
Yeah.
And it was dedicated to McCoy Tyner.
Yeah.
And those are fresh lyrics. I just wrote those lyrics less than a month ago. And it was like McCoy was talking to me. He was saying, walk spirit, talk spirit, walk. So I went, walk spirit, talk spirit. So the lyrics came out, and it's one of those things where it refreshes your soul. And the next composition we did was a Herbie Hancock piece. The lyrics on that piece was by Mark Murphy, and I liked his lyrics, so I thought I'd add another little dab to it, add that skank, add that skank to it.
Right.
So this was a perfect group, and these cats can really play. Rick Jermison on piano, and oh man, Steve Davis on trombone, and Sarah on the alto, and Nate, his sound, and Eric.
Yeah.
And everybody it's just wonderful just being in New York. That band, it sounded perfect.
You know, George, I spent a lot of time with you in Washington. I don't know if I got a chance to see you in Baltimore, but we spent some time in Washington,
Yes,
D.C.
several times,
But
yeah.
I remember the very first time I saw you in New York. It was at 7th Avenue South. You were with the James Moody Band, and this was back in the 70s. So seeing you here, fast forward in 2021, it's just a great pleasure. And tell me how you feeling about coming back to New York and performing here in New York, and performing with this great band tonight.
You brought back a lot of memories. We played all the clubs. Sweet Basil, the Vanguard, 7th Avenue South, Bottom Line, Fat Tuesdays, Carnegie Hall, Town Hall. So, coming back to New York is like a rebirth.
Yeah.
Because I was here when I was here in the 80s and the 90s. I was working on the railroad when I was singing with James Moody and with Pharoah and them. So, it wasn't easy, but it was a blessing just to have the opportunity to play with people like James Moody. Now, with Nate, I met Nate when I first moved to New York in 1979.
Yeah.
I came up here and I was singing on the streets with George Braith and the Braithophone, and with Marvin Blackman. And then me and Nate, we always crossed paths on the street. And then we remained friends, and we've sort of like entwined our careers with different people. He played with Pharoah. I did my first record with Pharoah Sanders on the Rejoice album, Moment's Notice. And so, and all these other musicians, man, it's like out of the Jackie Mac school, we came here, we didn't rehearse this.
Yeah.
This is unrehearsed. That just shows the level of professionalism of these musicians. So it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm really thankful and grateful.
George, just a couple weeks ago, you were here at Dizzy's for Lou Donaldson's birthday party. And talk about that experience a little bit.
Well, it was sweet Sweet Papa Lou Donaldson's 95th birthday. As a matter of fact, I've been to majority of his birthday parties since he was about 75. And that was really a pleasure to see so many people and his family and friends come out and help him celebrate. And it was so nice to see him and to hug him and touch him. And then I was able to sing my lyrics to his classic composition called The Gravy Train.
Yeah.
And it was really a highlight of the evening. And you know, Brother Peyton, what's the trumpet player?
Nicholas Peyton
came up, and different people came up, and we really had a good time. And it was just so nice to be there to see him in the flesh.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? And he did sing, and everybody was there. Everybody loved it, and it was a great celebration.
George, you know, one of the things that I'm really impressed by some of your projects, and one of them is how you added lyrics to a lot of the great music by Hank Mobley.
Oh, yes.
Speak a little bit about that.
Yeah, Hank Mobley, actually I wrote lyrics to 45 of his compositions.
Yeah.
And on the next set, I'm going to present No Room for Squares. It'll be the world premiere, along with the Walk Spirit, Talk Spirit. It'll be the world premiere of Hank Mobley's No Room for Squares. Now, Hank Mobley, I love him. I love Hank Mobley. I love him. I've written lyrics. It was like he was talking to, he's so soulful. You know, when he's like a Baptist preacher.
Yeah.
You know, especially on stuff like the Baptist beat, you know, and it's, you know, Hank Mobley. So I look forward to recording more of his compositions in the near future, and hopefully this will generate interest and mushroom out to take us to places that we've all never been.
Yeah. So George, what's the second set gonna look like tonight?
Oh, the second set is gonna be powerful. You know, all I can say is we're gonna open up, I'm going to sing Naima.
Yeah.
You know, Gene Kahn, Doug Kahn's arrangement on Naima. And then I'll close out with No Room for Squares. I'm doing No Room for Squares. And after that, anything can happen. You know?
Well, George, I'm really looking forward to it tonight. So glad to have you in New York City, man. You're really blessing our city really well tonight.
Thank you,
and I can't wait for the second set. I can't wait to hear all your projects, some of the fine stuff you're doing. George, tell folks how they can catch up with you on social media, because your social media platform and your social media footprint is becoming wider and wider. So tell folks where they can catch you on social media.
You can reach me on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. I'm under the name Your Majesty George V. Johnson, because John Malachi gave me that name, and he gave Sarah Vaughan the name Sassy Sarah Vaughan.
Yeah.
So you can find me under Your Majesty George V. Johnson on Twitter, again, Instagram, and Facebook, and at www.georgiejohnsonjr.com/store. That way you can purchase my new CD, Your Majesty.
George, let's go up for the second set, man, and welcome to New York. And I can't wait to hear these new tunes. George, thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin Thornborn.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so much.
There's no room for squares. Have your way together. There's no room for squares.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the local train to Trenton, making stops at Newark, Elizabeth, Linden, Rahway, Metro Park, Metuchen, Edison, New Brunswick, Jersey Avenue, Princeton Junction, and Trenton. You may change to Newark for the Raritan Valley Line, the North Jersey Coastline, PAP trains at Jersey City, Hoboken, and the World Trade Center, and Aerolink to the Newark Airport. Watch your step leaving the train and check your seats and overhead luggage rack for all personal belongings. Have a good day. This is Newark, New Jersey. I'm retired.